this looks like a fake, doesn't it? Well, it is a fake. But here's a fella who's willing to bet his hard-earned money on it. Henry here got on the train with $200. He couldn't see any harm in a friendly game of cards. What if the other men were strangers? And take Joe Collins. He's got a nice wife at home. But he met this girl at the bar, and she looked kinda cute after the first couple of drinks. There's a good old-fashioned word for people like this. We call them suckers. And there are other people. People who stay up nights figuring out how to take away what they've got. There are all kinds of games and all kinds of suckers. Take Mike here, for instance. He's got everything, you might say. He's young, he's healthy, he's got a job. And he's got a country called America. It's a wonderful thing to have. America. Lots of room. Room enough to raise plenty of food. Big factories to make things a man can use. Big cities to do the business of a big country. And people. Lots of people. Enough to work the farm and build the factories, dig the mines. Yeah. Mike's got something, all right. He's got America. But there are guys who stay up nights figuring out how to take that away from him.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure.
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America.
This fellow seems to know what he's talking about.
Yes, he knows all right.
Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite.
Excuse me, young man, but are you actually going to read that stuff?
Sure, why not? You heard what he said, didn't you?
Yes, I heard. But do you believe in that kind of talk?
I don't know, makes pretty good sense to me.
Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
The place where I grew up no longer exists. Apart from here in the local history library, photographic evidence of Queen Square in Old Trafford. This is where I grew up, and it was demolished in the late 1960s. And in a way, it was like having one's childhood wiped away. So it was a very strong community, and it was very tight. Very solid. I feel great anger, I feel massive sadness. It's like a complete loss of childhood, because although I've always lived in Manchester, and I've always lived relatively close to here, to this part of Manchester, now, when I pass through here, or even being here today, it's just so foreign to me. And that's quite sad, I think.
If Great Britain goes down, the Axis powers will control the continents of Europe and Asia and Africa and Australasia and the high seas, and they will be in a position to bring enormous military and naval resources against this hemisphere. It is no exaggeration to say that all of us in the Americas would be living at the point of a gun loaded with explosive bullets, economic as well as military.
I would love to go back to the old house, but I never will, I never will, I never will.
Never before, since Jamestown and Plymouth Rock, has our American civilization been in such danger as now.
She comes home in the morning light. Her mother says, when you're gonna live your life right? Oh, mother dear, you're not the fortunate ones. And girls, they wanna have fun. Just wanna have fun. Ooh. The phone rings in the middle of the night. Her father yells, what are you gonna do with your life? Oh, daddy dear, you know you're still number one. But girls, they wanna have fun.
We are in a very different position from that we were in 10 weeks ago. We are far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago. We are far better prepared to endure the worst malice of Hitler and his Huns than we were at the beginning of September.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain, and I'm putting together a special team, and I need me 8 soldiers. 8 Jewish American soldiers. we're gonna be dropped into France dressed as civilians. And once we're in enemy territory, as a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're gonna be doing one thing and one thing only: killing Nazis. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I sure as hell didn't come down from the goddamn Smoky Mountains, cross 5,000 miles of water, fight my way through half of Sicily, and jump out of a fucking aeroplane to teach the Nazis lessons in humanity. Nazi ain't got no humanity. They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating, mass-murdering maniac, and they need to be destroyed. That's why any and every sumbitch we find wearing a Nazi uniform, they're gonna die. Now, I'm the direct descendant of the mountain man Jim Bridger. That means I got a little engine in me. And our battle plan will be that of an Apache resistance. We will be cruel to the Germans. And through our cruelty, they will know who we are. And they will find the evidence of our cruelty in the disemboweled, dismembered, and disfigured bodies of their brothers we leave behind us. And the German won't be able to help themselves. But imagine the cruelty their brothers endured at our hands, and our boot heels, and the edge of our knives. And the German will be sickened by us, and the German will talk about us, and the German will fear us. And when the German closes their eyes at night, and they're tortured by their subconscious for the evil they have done, it will be with thoughts of us that they are tortured with. Sound good?
Yes, sir! And every night, the same old place, the same old face, the memories you can't erase. It's passing by, another fat destined to die. It's fabricated, overrated, every daydream's fine. But simply stated, I don't understand what's swimming in your mind. All around, I open wide, but hear no sound. And all the signs are pointing south, but still no sound comes from my mouth. It's making no sense, blurring the line. There isn't a chance to fall back this time.
But this I will say, without a doubt, that the fate of Holland and Belgium, like that of Poland, Czechoslovakia and Austria, will be decided by the victory of the British Empire and the French Republic. If we are conquered, all will be enslaved, and the United States will be left single-handed to guard the rights of men. The whole world is against Hitler and Hitlerism. Men of every race and clime feel that this monstrous apparition stands between them and the forward move which is their due and for which the age and the times are ripe. It may well be that the final extinction of a baleful domination will pave the way to a broader solidarity of all the men in all the lands than we could ever have planned if we had not marched together through the fire.
Tell me what's next, alien sex. I'ma disrobe you, then I'ma probe you. See, I abducted you, so I tell you what to do. You're my experimental game, just human nature. But you're an animal, baby, it's in your nature. Just let me liberate you. But you're an animal, baby, it's in your nature. Just let me liberate you.
The experience of the past 2 years has proven beyond doubt that no nation can appease the Nazis. No man can tame a tiger into a kitten by stroking it. There can be no appeasement with ruthlessness. There can be no reasoning with an incendiary bomb. We know now that a nation that can have peace with the Nazis only at the price of total surrender. The people of Europe who are defending themselves do not ask us to do their fighting. They ask us for the implements of war, the planes, the tanks, the guns, the freighters, which will enable them to fight for their liberty and our security. We must be the great arsenal of democracy. For us, this is an emergency as serious as war itself.
Baby,
and begin the process so necessary and desirable of laying the cities in ashes, for in ashes they must surely lie before peace comes back to the world.
watching the news. Stop watching the news. No emasculation, no castration.
Go for main engine start. 7, 6. We have main engine start. 3, 2, 1, 0.
We have liftoff for intercept mission. Intrepid has cleared the tower.
Mark 10 seconds, Intrepid, and looking good. Main engine sequencing confirmed. We have pitch over.
Booster separation at Mark 5 seconds.